Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Now today I want to talk about Corvus Glaive. Exactly how good is he? So let's jump into his abilities. First of all, he starts the fight with 20 glaive charges. And each glaive charge gives him a guaranteed critical hit. So basically he starts the fight with 20 guaranteed critical hits, and as long as he has at least one glaive charge, he has glaive immunity. Now glaive immunity gives him cold snap, bleed and shock immune. But there's a catch. After you spend all your glaive charges, your glaive immunity will go into a cooldown. It's a 50-second cooldown. Luckily, you can reduce it a little bit via your signature ability. And that says that if you spend your glaive charges in less than 30 seconds since they were first activated, the cooldown to get them back will be reduced by, in my case, 22%, and it goes up to 35%. That's not a lot, but it still helps a bit. Your signature ability will also give you a death immune mechanic. So for every hit that would otherwise kill you, you will consume 4 glaive charges. 2 if you happen to parry it. Another cool thing about Corvus Glaive is that he will apply an armor break with every parry. And if it happens that the opponent has more than one armor ups, he will transform all of them into armor breaks. So for example, if you're fighting a Colossus that has 5 armor ups, and you parry him, you will automatically apply 5 armor breaks. Your armor breaks will benefit your special 1 attack, giving it extra damage, and glaive immunity will benefit your special 2 attack, giving it unblockable, and if it happens that your opponent is at maximum power, it will drain 20% of it. And the third special will give you an attack bonus if you have at least 1 glaive charge, and if your opponent is under 10%, it will double that bonus. So when you start playing Corvus Glaive, his damage will not be that high. His critical hits will not be that high. So how do you increase the damage? Well, you do it through cruelty buffs. And you get cruelty buffs from completing your missions. Now you get 4 missions, and by completing any one of them, you get a cruelty buff along with a persistent charge. So each cruelty buff will give you an increase in critical damage rating, making your 20 guaranteed critical hits hit harder and harder. Corvus starts off with 2 basic missions, and he gets 2 more from his synergies. The first one is to knock out an Avenger, and once you do that, you will get 10 additional glaive charges, but only when fighting another Avenger. Keep in mind you will also get 1 persistent charge and 1 cruelty buff after every mission completed. The second one is knocking out the tech champions, and after you do that, all tech champions that you will fight will suffer a 25 reduced ability accuracy. The third mission is to knock out a mutant champion, and you only get that if you have an active synergy with Wolverine, X-23 or Storm. And by completing it, by knocking out a mutant champion, you will get a safeguard from any special 2 attacks. His fourth mission requires an active synergy with Proxima Midnight. And this one is my favorite because you don't have to kill the opponent, you just have to knock him off his feet with either a heavy attack or a special attack. And you need to do it after your opponent used either an evade or an auto block. And that will give you a true strike buff as long as you have your glaive charges active, along with the cruelty buff and a persistent charge. One more thing before we jump into a video of this, and also how his damage ramps up, I want to take a look at his stats. His health and attack are normal for an attacking hero, but he has critical resistance, and I don't remember seeing this on any other character. Also, his block proficiency is high, and that works out for a character that will probably parry a lot.